Okay, today we're going to break down a framework that could totally change the way you look at your money. It's called the 7 levels of wealth, and it's this powerful idea that reframes financial struggle not as some kind of personal failure, but as a game that you can actually learn to win.
So, have you ever felt like you're just stuck? Like you're running on a financial hamster wheel? You pay the bills, you try to put a little bit away, but you just can't seem to get ahead. Meanwhile, you see other people building wealth and it feels like they're doing it effortlessly. What's going on there?
Well, here's a pretty profound idea. What if you're not actually bad with money? What if it has nothing to do with your character? The idea here is that you're just playing the game on a very specific level, and you might be using the wrong strategy for that level.
And that's the core concept right there. You have to stop thinking about wealth like it's some simple ladder you climb. Instead, think of it like a video game. Every single level has its own unique rules, its own boss battles, and yeah, its own cheat codes to move up.
You know, this is exactly why so many people get stuck. They're trying to use level 4 strategies when they're still fighting the main boss on level 2. A gamer would never do that, right? The real secret is to completely master your current level before you even start thinking about the next one.
So let's dive into the first quest. Levels 1 through 3 are all about building that solid foundation. This is the journey from total financial chaos to finally getting a sense of control.
And it all starts at level 1, survival. If you're here, money isn't just a small worry. It is a constant, crushing source of stress, day in and day out.
This is that feeling of living paycheck to paycheck, where something as simple as a flat tire can feel like a total disaster. And get this, nearly 40% of Americans are right here. The goal at this level isn't to get rich overnight. It's to get brutally honest with yourself. The single most important move you can make is to track every single dollar and start saving. I don't care if it's just $5 a week. Just start.
All right, let's see how this builds as we move to level 2. This is stability. At this point, you're not drowning anymore, but you probably feel like you're just treading water. So, the bills are getting paid, which is great. That constant panic is gone, but it feels like there's never anything left over at the end of the month. And here's the insight. Willpower alone always fails at this level. You cannot just try harder. The only way to win this level is to build automatic systems. Automate your bills, automate your savings. Make progress happen in the background before you even get a chance to spend that money.
Now we're getting somewhere. Next up is level 3, security. This is the point where you finally start to feel a sense of calm about your money. That constant low-grade anxiety about finances just starts to fade away.
And that calm comes because you've achieved something called financial breathing room. And let me tell you, this is a huge psychological shift. It's when the water heater breaks, and yeah, it's annoying, but it's not a catastrophe. You're starting to make decisions from a position of strength, not desperation. To get here, you've hit 2 huge milestones. You have a real emergency fund with 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up, and you're consistently investing at least 10% of your income. The name of the game at this level is just consistency. That's it. Just keep building those 2 pillars. Okay, so with that solid foundation built, you are ready for the next phase, acceleration. In levels 4 and 5, you finally stop just working for your money, and you start making your money work for you. Welcome to level 4, growth. And this is where things get really, really exciting. Compound growth is no longer just some theoretical idea in a book. You can actually log into your accounts and see it happening. The mindset shift here is just massive. You develop what's called money consciousness. You start to realize that, a $100 dinner tonight isn't just costing you $100, it's costing you the hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars that money could have grown into over time, and that changes everything. So a key strategy here is to create something called money dials. Now, this is not about a restrictive budget, it's actually the opposite. You figure out what you truly love. Maybe it's travel, eating out, your health, and you spend extravagantly on those things. Then you cut mercilessly on everything else you don't care about. It's a system for intentional, really joyful spending. And all that growth eventually leads you to level 5, freedom. At this stage, your relationship with money fundamentally changes. It's not just about security anymore, it's about having options. And this is just a huge mental transition. You move from a scarcity mindset, where you're always worrying, do I have enough, to an abundance mindset, where you start asking, what choices do I want to make? What opportunities align with my goals? This isn't just a small leap, it's a completely different reality. Being at this level means you can finally walk away from that toxic job you hate.
Your emergency fund becomes an opportunity fund that you can use for calculated risks. But the key here is to get specific. Stop vaguely dreaming and start calculating. Figure out your worry-free number, the amount you'd need invested to cover all your expenses, and the actual annual cost of your ideal rich life.
So, what could possibly come after freedom? Well, the final two levels are really aspirational. They're about moving beyond your own needs and using your wealth to create a real impact on the world.
This is level 6, abundance, and this chart says it all. I mean, just look at how the spending is allocated. It's not about buying more stuff. In fact, you probably own less stuff at this point. The vast majority of your resources have shifted towards experiences, relationships, and supporting the causes you really truly believe in.
And finally, we reach the very top, the pinnacle, level 7, legacy. And honestly, only a tiny fraction of people will ever reach this stage of wealth. And this isn't just about leaving an inheritance for your kids. It's about building something that will outlive you. This is the true endgame. The focus shifts entirely to impact goals. You start asking, what big problems can I help solve? How can I use my resources and my knowledge to create opportunities for others who are just starting their own game?
Now, we've gone through all the financial steps, but there's a critical point we have to talk about. The real boss battle is often psychological. It's your brain versus your bank account. And this is the biggest hurdle for so many people. It's called psychological lag. It's when your bank account is sitting comfortably at level 4, but your brain is still trapped back in the fear and anxiety of level 1. You have security, but you don't feel secure. This is the ghost in the machine that keeps people from ever actually feeling wealthy, no matter how much money they have.
So here's the ultimate takeaway. Leveling up isn't just about learning new habits. It demands a fundamental identity shift. You have to stop seeing yourself as someone who struggles with money and truly start believing that you are someone who controls money.
So let's just put it all together. This entire journey is really a series of mindset shifts. In survival, you go from being reactive to proactive. In stability, you swap willpower for automation. Security is about going from fear to confidence. Growth demands you shift from thinking about today to thinking about the future. Freedom is that huge leap from scarcity to abundance. Abundance is about going from accumulation to meaning. And finally, legacy is the ultimate shift from self to others.
Understanding these levels gives you a roadmap. It means you can stop following financial advice that's meant for someone 3 levels ahead of you. So the only real question left is this. Looking at this framework, what is the single most important move you need to make right now to master your current level?